Now it's on. Don't do anything. It's on.
Yeah.
Okay, now you stand there and we're going to start.
Yeah.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
You're gonna have to get up to the mic.
Okay, I am. Mic check. Mic check. Testing 1 2 3. Mic check. Mic check. How's the audio coming in? Are we all clear?
Yep.
Okay. So who am I looking at? I'm looking at you, Carol, or am I
Look at New York
looking at?
one. New York one's in the middle.
Yeah, look straight ahead.
Look straight ahead.
Wait, we don't need this. What's the...
Yeah, we don't need that. That's
Yeah,
killing us.
just talk into the mic
Talk into the
without.
Okay.
microphone. You're
No,
not
'cause-
talking to
no, it's gonna
thousands
mess
of
us up.
people here.
Okay. All right.
No,
Okay.
turn that off.
Okay.
Not a problem. Not a problem,
Just
guys.
stay
have the
closer to the
microphone set
mic.
up.
Not a
That's gonna
problem.
mess everything up.
We're good, right? Okay.
So do your
Because I want the community
sorry.
to hear this. This is a community event. We invited the community. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Charlton D'Souza. I'm the president of Passengers United, and we're here today. You know, at this vigil. Yet again, another person has been killed in the subway. A senseless death. 14-year-old stabbed to death. This is the crisis in our city, and today I just want to hold hands and pray with the community, because I'm just devastated with all this violence. And our members of Passengers United, we keep going to every MT board and committee meeting, and we keep begging the chairman, Jano Lieber, the mayor, Eric Adams, our city council, our elected officials in Albany, our state assembly people, our state, Senate leaders, our congressional leaders. What is going on in our city? A 14-year-old just riding the subway. They robbed him of his phone, stabbed him. It's horrible. It's just horrible what's going on. We're sick of this. So we just want to have a moment of silence at Passengers United, and all of our members. I know people around the city are praying, but in the next few days, we are going to be holding demonstrations outside elected officials' offices, because you know what? All the elected officials are focused on is gun crimes. They're not focused on knives. People are being stabbed all over the city, and it's not right. So Yuki Ando, I want Yuki, one of our 88 task force members, to come and join us for a word of prayer. And what's really sad here is I've been here for about 25 to 30 minutes, and there's a community here, but it seems like no one cares. No one cares. That's sad. Where is the mayor? Where is Eric Adams? Eric Adams said he was going to be here today at this vigil. Really, Eric? Really? Why don't you send, if you couldn't be here, why can't you send your staff members to be here? Where are the city council elected officials that we invited to be here? They're not here. This is sad, guys. This is really sad. Any New Yorker that is watching this press conference, you need to be outraged. You really need to be outraged and ask yourself, if we don't even care about a 14-year-old kid who just got stabbed. Really? I mean, it's just sad. And I'm going to keep doing these events, even if it's 3 people, even if we invite all the electeds and they don't show up. We're going to keep doing these events. I'm going to keep going to the MT board meetings like I always do, and I'm going to protest. And you know what? Now we're going to take it to the elected officials' doors. In fact, I told my members, starting on Monday, we're going to every elected official's office. We're going to knock on their doors, and we're going to demand to meet with them. And this is what mothers, fathers, relatives, they need to start knocking on these elected officials' doors and saying, you know what? You don't ride these subways. You don't ride with us. How dare you give criminals a free pass? I don't want to make this a political thing, but you know what? When you have people in the city walking around where they can freely stab someone, and yesterday it was the 14-year-old who got stabbed, but what about the other shootings throughout the city? What about Michelle Go when she was pushed to her death? We were all promised by Mayor Eric Adams that there would be police all over the subway system. I just rode the train here from Queens, from Southeast Queens. I was on the train on 3 different occasions. I saw individuals walking around harassing passengers. There's no safety down here. We're all being lied to. We all are being lied to. There's no safety. Ride these subways at your own risk. And you know, a few days ago, there was a store owner who defended himself against a guy who tried to come in the store. Well, guess what? If all elected officials don't wake up and they don't start cleaning up these subways and getting the gangs and the crimes and all the criminals under control, people are going to start vigilante justice down here. And I hate to say that, but that's what's going to happen. Because if we're going to work and we're working 2 and 3 jobs and we're all hard workers, like me, I'm a volunteer. I work another job. We all volunteer at Passengers United. We don't get paid for this, but we love our city. We care about the passengers. We love our subway system. But what's happening right now in our city, you know, is being seen all over the world. And this is just devastating, what these elected officials have done to our city. And it's everyone, but I also blame people, you know, or we need to start holding our elected officials accountable.
What
There
can I
isn't
ask you though? What can elected officials do? This is a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old having a fight on the street.
That's a very good question. And you know what they can do? They can have more youth programs. Because in the budget that Eric Adams has passed, you know, they've cut school funding for many after-school programs. Many youth programs have been canceled. So, you know, Eric Adams says one thing, but there's something different going on. Like he says, the subways are safe, and you know, there's cops on the subway. I ride the system overnight. I rode the system overnight coming home from work. I didn't see one cop last night on the subway.
I have a
There's-
question.
What train did you take?
I take the E and the F coming from Manhattan. But this area, right now, when I was on the 1 train, I saw an individual who actually got off at the station. He was walking around canvassing people's phones, looking like he wanted to steal something. We should not have to ride the subway system in fear. That's what I'm saying. We're paying $128 for a 30-day unlimited, and you know, we're paying a fare. We deserve to be able to get to our destinations safely. That's what we deserve. We don't deserve to be treated like this. We're being lied to. There's no answers right now in the city. I think that's why people are so frustrated. You saw the last election. Look at the turnout in the city. Turnout was abysmal, you know. So that's why now we need to take it to the elected officials outside their offices, and we need to start sitting in front of their doors, whether it means me being arrested. You know what? Maybe that's the time to wake these people up.
You say no one cares, but none of your people are here. So tell me about that.
That's a good question,
It
sir,
is.
but you have to understand, people come here by subway. We all travel. We don't have expensive cars. We're all volunteers, sir. Just to let you know, we're all volunteers. We don't get paid for this. And I can tell you this, I attend every MT board and committee meeting. Every day we're in communication with New York City Transit. There are other organizations out there where the directors make $65,000. I have yet to see them at an MT board or committee meeting. And those organizations are the ones that are coming to the elected officials and saying, we don't need police on the subway. The police shouldn't be harassing people. While I agree, fare evasion, that's not the most important thing. We need to protect our transit workers. Our transit workers are getting beaten up, they're getting assaulted, they're getting spit on. No one comes to work to deal with this. And this stabbing of the 14-year-old yesterday highlighted a problem. And then there's been other stabbings and shootings in the subway system in the past few weeks, which, you know, there's so many incidents going on, we cannot cover all of them. But when a 14-year-old is stabbed in the subway, it just angers me, you know. And all I'm gonna say is, if you're watching this, New Yorkers, you need to start calling up your city council people and saying we want private security guards. The contracts with the private security guards, just so you guys know, those contracts are about to expire. Yeah.
Which security guards are these?
So the MT has private security guards from Allied Security that patrol the subway stations. Right now, the contract is up for renewal, and at many stations, they're not using them anymore. They're pulling them back, you know, and this is the problem. And I've noticed,
That's it.
when I spoke to the MT chairman about this at the finance committee meeting, and I asked him, what's going on with the security guard? What's going on with the funding? I was not given clear and concrete answers. That's not the way to run a transit authority.
What do you do overnight when you work?
I work for different, I'd rather not say yet because I don't want people to know what I do, but I'll tell you off the record. Yeah. But what I'm saying is I deal with elected officials every other day. There is a problem in the city and it starts with the electeds. Now, to answer your question, I know we said about youth programs, but the thing is, when all young adults are seeing so much of crime in our city and they're seeing this over and over again in the news, there's a culture. Just look where we're at now. I'm here, I'm talking, all these people see us. I've approached people about nobody cares. This is what our city has come to, and it's a very sad reality. It really is. Our city has given up. That's what's going on. So yeah, I'll say that, and I want Mayor Eric Adams, if you're listening, I want you to ride the subway with me, because the MTA chairman promised to ride the subway with me overnight. They haven't done it yet. He came up to me, said it at a board meeting. I spoke to Tim Minton. I spoke to his press secretary. They don't follow up. And I can tell you, there's subway stations in the city where it's right for a crime like this to happen. And there's going to be more and more killings and stabbings down here until we get our security situation together. We've got to get our security situation together. Because if we don't get it, it's just going to keep going on and on and on. So, and I just want to have a moment of silence. Yuki, come join me.
Come on.